Tumeona mengi, upendo ukidumu, mbona chuki kama sumu?
And they have been asked for unyenyekevu to keep them alive. Wapi makofi!
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the official unveiling of the called Manifesto 2023. Sisi sasa tuinuke kwa Mungu yetu.
Since we launched Code in December last year, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Wetangula, and myself and other colleagues have been able to traverse various parts of our country, during which we have interacted with fellow Kenyans and were able to understand their desire for a new leadership that is genuine in their commitment to their concerns, and secondly, as a proven track record and capability to build on the democratic and economic gains the country has made in the past few years. The new constitution, promulgated 2 years ago, manifests these gains. Kenyans have shown us, in word and in deed, that they need a team that is truly committed to the letter and the spirit of this widely acclaimed document, and who then can be trusted to implement it fully. This requires bold leadership, courage, and selflessness that is best found and can only be found in the Code Alliance under the stewardship of our flag bearer, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Today we refer to our brother as a flag bearer. In just 2 days, we will all crown him as the president designate, because he will have presented his papers. Our 10-point harmonized manifesto that we will shortly be launching focuses on various elements of the reform agenda that underpins Kenyans' aspirations. I will pick out 4 for the purpose of this occasion: national unity and reconciliation, land reforms, and education. CORD recognizes that elections such as the ones ahead can be very divisive, more so in an ethnically fragmented society such as Kenya's. Our claim to unity as one people has faced tests in different political circumstances, and while we have many times passed the test, we have on some occasions failed that same test with grave consequences for our nationhood. Such failure has often raised concerns about our level of political maturity, our tolerance, as well as the depth of our solidarity and indeed our cohesiveness. Many a time, the forces of reaction and retrogression have attempted to balkanize this nation into ethnic enclaves or promoted narrow sectarian interests at the expense of our nationhood. CORD appreciates and will continue to celebrate our cultural, our ethnic, our religious, our racial and geoecological diversity because it is the mosaic that makes Kenya the Kenya we know. We shall therefore be unflinching in our defense and promotion of the national unity of all Kenyans. Land, ladies and gentlemen, is the primary means of livelihood, and land-based economic activities like agriculture, mining, forestry, ranching have contributed significantly to the economic advancement of our nation. And it is because of land that we are able to fight off the colonialists. Therefore, land is a central issue. Ironically, our country has become a land of paradoxes, where some individuals own large tracts of land which remain idle or underutilized, while a large number of Kenyans are indeed squatters, such as Kalembe Ndile. Your CORD government will implement the constitutional provisions to address these historical injustices and inequalities on land, while in the same vein upholding the sanctity of title. And therefore, people should relax. We are not about to dispossess any Kenyan of land that they rightfully own, but we will have to make sure that land is equitably used. We'll have to make sure, all of us know, for instance, the Maasai community were the original owners of Nairobi. In fact, the very name Nairobi means a place of cold waters. And from the colonialists to us after independence, we moved them from Laikipia, we moved them from Nairobi, we moved them from everywhere. It is about time we recognize the Maasais are Kenyans. And I think it is very important that without necessarily scaring anybody or any group of people, what you are basically saying is the time to do justice is here with us. Your CORD government will implement the constitutional provisions to address historical injustices, as I just said. It will also ensure that the National Land Commission is facilitated to perform its roles, address land issues in urban areas, especially in the informal settlements, and develop a sustainable land use policy. I repeat, we shall continue to respect the sanctity of the land title. CORD recognizes the fundamental role education plays in the nation's development and makes the bold pledge of offering universally accessible quality education to all Kenyans at all levels. We will make education compulsory in compliance with the Constitution, which entitles every child to basic education that is both free and compulsory. And for the avoidance of doubt, the CORD government will start from the cradle. We'll have to employ not teachers, not parents anymore. We'll have to employ those many required nursery school teachers, because that is where it begins. And it has to be done. We have free primary education thanks to the NAC dream initially. and of course what the government, the Grand Coalition government has been able to achieve, but we want to go a step further because we stopped at affordable secondary education and make here a clear pledge to the Kenyan people, many of whom are watching us at this particular time, that secondary education shall be free under the CORD government. Through public-private partnerships, we will transform public education facilities at all levels to be able to offer quality-free education. We'll also review the employment terms of teachers and lecturers to ensure long service and harmony. Recruit more teachers to be able to correct the high pupil-teacher ratio in some areas, including improving the transition rates. We'll be able to review curriculum delivery to hard-to-reach children and link education with the requirements of industry in order to ensure youths attain skills that are required in society while giving more attention to gender issues and special needs, among others. As I conclude my brief remarks, ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate that this manifesto, which you have actually already unveiled, represents the collective aspirations of the people of Kenya. It belies their collective desire for a reformed society predicated on the sound promise of prosperity, equality, justice, and indeed, as Weta said, the rule of law. The rule of law is absolutely vital. And if we actually, even those matawis, wale matawi wa kijana alisema, kwa sababu shina haswa ni code, ama sivyo? Matawi wenyewe wangekuwa naamini the principle of rule and law, we would not be standing and campaigning, some of us. Because it is clear, it is very clear as daylight. And that is why I repeat, national interest is what will guide the CORD government. It cannot be the case that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's interests will override national interest. It can never be. And if my friends on the other side of the divide, who actually have clearly described as Matawi, I've not heard a sweeter poem in recent years, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to repeat that this kind of leadership, what we're actually envisioning in this manifesto, including, and I'm sure my brother will talk about it, because we have harmonized this. Once we fully implement this constitution, it will then be possible to get this nation to be a 24-hour working nation so that we can throw out poverty. We'll be able to throw out poverty and work without fear, without favor. Every Kenyan embracing every other Kenyan. I'm so happy that as I speak to you this afternoon, I am able to traverse to go to any part of this country. Central Province, I'm sure will remember what we did to stabilize President Kibaki's government. The Rift Valley will know what we did to try to bring these cases. I see Amani colleagues, Amani. That word is properly codish. That's a code title, saying they will try and do certain things about some of those cases. We have demonstrated commitment, and we are determined to do justice to all the Kenyans, including those of our people, even as we speak, who are actually refugees in their own country. The term IDP will never again be used in this country under CORD government. Let me now, as I try to invite our brother, assure this country that under CORD, you will be in very safe hands. And I want to tell you that the country has literally gotten the spirit. Our last rally in Eldoret was an amazing event. It actually exceeded my wildest imagination because it was to 64 Stadium that I went with our other friends when we are conducting national prayers for them. But this time, Eldoret was at a standstill. This time, the people of the Rift Valley have decided, just like the people of Western Province have decided. The people of Eastern Province decided a long time ago. The people of Central Province are deciding, and I'm telling you, over 60%, because if some of you think Raila Odinga cannot be trusted with Weta and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, don't you see stability, ladies and gentlemen? Can't you see? How much more convincing do you really need to see? Can't you see this is the true face of this country? And if you want to exclude yourself, you can only have yourself to blame. And therefore, the time to bury ethnicity, negative tribalism is now. Kenyans, are you listening? Kenyans, are you listening? The time to unite this country and to refuse negative tribalism is now. And our brother, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, in 2 days' time will become President designate. Let us now welcome him to conclude this event. Makofi.